All right, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And let's check it out where the markets are at right now. What's going on? We got the S&P is currently up 2 points. We have the Russell is currently down less than a point, about half a point right now. NASDAQ's up 15. We got the Dow down a mere 3 points on the day. Copper is currently up almost 2%, 1.75% up on copper on the day. We got gold. It's flying up. Dollar getting nailed today. It is up 2.37%. Looking on over at silver. We got silver up over 3.75% on the day. The metals are definitely moving. Check it out where we are on. Oil is up 0.5%. Natural gas is up 0.68. Corn is currently down 1%. Soybeans is down 2.5%. We got the pound dollar is currently down 1/3%. Euro dollar is up 1/3%. Euro pound is up 0.6% on the day right now. Dollar franc currently down 0.4%, 0.5% right there. We got dollar yen up 0.5%. Euro yen up nearly 1% on the day. 136 pips. Some nice movement right there. Aussie yen up 91. Aussie dollar up 31. Looking on bonds are slightly positive on the day, about 0.25%. We got the dollar index right now is down a little over 0.15% at the moment. Well, that catches us up on our current market rat and got everything going. We got oil, rising there. Price trying to put some pressure on OPEC to act, but not so far. So they're not doing anything. We've had some major bounces, some great trades over in the oil market. And it's one of these ones we're looking at this morning. We first came on the bull bear binary hour this morning, and bought it at 74.50, went up, hit 74.80, 75.10, went right up to 75.40, came all the way back down to entry 1A, and flew on back up again to 75.40. So twice in a row, just a nice move right there, and staying right on those magnets, playing them really well. Looking on over, we got some squeezes catching the dollar index, and let me pull that on up. It's been a monster down day. It flew up first, so it didn't look like a monster down day, but if you saw the move up and then the move back down, you get what I'm talking about. So that sometimes that number just showing just off a settlement doesn't give you the full story. Look at this thing. Dollar index was flying up, flew up to 1.5 deviations early in the morning. And then it just took a nosedive, basically all the way down to -1. We're talking about basically over a 2.5 deviation move from high to low on the dollar index. Tons of volatility there, and lots of plays happening in that process. So dollar index DX, very fun instrument to trade, by the way. You should check it out if you haven't already. It's in my top 10 list of favorite instruments to trade. And the volatility lately has been insane. Usually you don't get that much volatility on it. But it's just been taking off. It's been pushing gold around quite a bit this morning. Got caught up in a couple trades. Got a nice short trade on gold. Then got cut up on a couple shorts. Looking for it, but then I had to go long, fortunately, there at 11.73. Ran on up at 11.76, came back, reset, got another entry at 11.73, ran up, hit 11.76, hit 11.79, hit 11.83, hit 11.86. And so it's moving on up and still going on the gold futures market right there. So it's been just a beautiful run. Some nice volume in gold in the entire process. Wasn't surprised to see the slowdown right here on this high volume bar. We get high volume, get a pullback, goes again, get, medium high volume there, pulls on back, get high volume again, it pulls on back, and then runs right back on up. Just keeps going today. And like I said, just a beautiful run right there on gold. We said got smacked a couple times early in the morning, but you got to stick with it, and it worked out well in the gold. Markets there. Looking on over, Treasury yields also, retreating on back down. We got consumer sentiment higher more than it's been, hitting a 7-year high. So that's a new one there. We got copper setting for the second week drop, setting a record there. Second week drop amid the global slowdown concern. Of course, all that money going into the housing market. Looking on over at some of our indices, let's check out where we're at right now. We had our Russell buy at 1169, targeted 1173, took profit. It kept going on up to 1177. We had a sell to buy on back when it came on down to 1174. That one took profit, and it's just been sitting there ever since. S&P has been just straight up rough all day. Very flat, very choppy, hard to catch much of anything. And just got nailed a few times on that one, and just another one just sort of sitting around. S&P has been the tough child of the day to try to trade. Looking on over, checking out our U.S. yen market. U.S. yen ran on up at entered 1130, flew on up to 1116.75. Came on back down, bumped up to 1116.5. Then came on, hadn't had a reset yet though. Just got a reset, pretty flat on the day. Wouldn't be surprised to see it flat into the end of the day on the U.S. yen. Let's see what other markets we can check out right now. Going in, we got gold. We already covered that. We got Russell, S&P. We got U.S. yen. Looking over at the pound dollar. Pound dollar had a small little loss, but then a nice profit right there. Just pulled back, lost about 10 ticks there, but then ran on down 56, 50, 30, 10. So grabbing 40 pips. Hasn't reset for another short entry right now. And that's all we got on pound dollar, but a nice profitable day so far. Euro dollar, sort of a mixed bag as well. Just, moving all around with all this dollar movement happening. And let me bring that chart on up. We'll look at it. And this morning got a nice short, 1244.7 down to, or 1244.40 down to 1240.24, and then on within 5 ticks of target 2. Tighten up stop, take profit on that trade. Pops on back up, hasn't reset, gets another short, gets knocked out about 13 ticks later. Had a really tight stop on the trade, and then went out and grabbed a long to go long at 25.15, and took a target right up there, a little bit higher, right up there around 25.80, and just oscillating back down, but not reset yet. But still profitable on euro dollar for the day, so not too bad. Hopping on over to the Aussie. Aussie has been just win, lose, win, lose, win, lose all day long. Had a nice profit right here, went in and came short on that, then had a little long, just, jumped around everywhere, came on down, hit its stop loss, got a long on that, profitable, short, loss, long, win, short, loss. It's just been going back and forth. Now it's got another short entry to go short again. So it's just been sort of, back and forth all day. Probably hoping to look to end just to break even on that one. And that wraps up our daily trading plans right there. Going in, euro yen hitting a 10-month high above 145. Looks at some great moves on euro yen. We were talking about that yesterday and today. But just moving on up and, like I said, making that massive high there. Let's go ahead and pull that up and take a look at it. And we'll dive into a couple other trades as well. But euro yen right there taking off and bumping on up at the 1.5 deviation move. Had a nice little trend there. Got pretty choppy, but started to look like it might turn around and then just pop, ran on up, but wasn't too fast. Had plenty of time for you to get in and catch that trade. 10-minute deviation stop method working great as well on that. And pops on up, runs up to the 1.5 deviation marker on the trade. And that's the euro yen. Now, today we had the natural gas report come out. A little bit different because it happened on a Friday due to Veterans Day this week. They bumped it back a day. They did the same thing on oil where we had that yesterday. Looking on over at natural gas. Let me pull that one up. We'll go into it. Okay. And where we go. All right, now let's go ahead and throw on our expected ranges and see how we did on the expected movements of the day. Right here on natural gas, putting all the pieces together. The report came out. I want to verify my times, make sure I'm right. So just whenever they move that day, it sort of messes with things. But that looks like, natural gas, regular scheduled time there, 10:30. And so let's zoom on in for the 10 to 11 o'clock time frame right over here. And basically moved this expected move, busted out of it a little bit, actually. And natural gas coming in at 40 billion British thermal units there on an expectation of 37. And let's see, what did the reports say? Pulling that on up, weekly natural gas storage report. Came in at 40. Expectation was 37. Stocks were a little bit less. They were less than last year, this time of year. And they're also below the 5-year average. So the stock did improve, and the storage, improved, but it's still below last year and below the 5-year average on natural gas. And so the number, went up, therefore the price dropped. But then the full analysis fundamentally saying, hey, this is still lower than where we have been, pops it right on back up. So you got a mixed bag of results inside that, but still, nevertheless, got some nice movement, breaking out of the expectations on the news, and then popping on back up. You can go in, you can look at potential volume spike trades. You can look at a lot of different ways to trade these. You can look at trading straddles on them. Today's a little bit more difficult and challenging on doing some of the straddle and strangle ones because it's not the normal time that the trade happens, because it normally doesn't happen on Friday. It normally happens on Thursday. So that's going to mess up with your expected ranges on that time of day type thing. Looking on over at some spike trackers on it, pulling that up right now. And let's see here. We had a spike striker right there in the money. Depending upon the strike you got, they're pretty wide. Could have been profitable on that one. Here's a buy that went on profitable. Another buy that was profitable. Pardon me. On the day, that one would have been iffy. It really would have came down to the strike. The other ones were definitely profitable on the day. Okay, so that wraps up natural gas for us. And let's dive in and check a few other things out before we hop on over. Let's see. We got the calendar caught up. Let's see. What else do we got on the news calendar? Going in a little bit different order today. But on the news calendar for last night today, I want to pull those up, do those trade reviews with you like we do each and every day. We did have a couple. We had a trade last night. We had a couple trades this morning. So let's check those out. Let me just get a basic chart up with less on it. It makes it a little easier to review the news trade specifically. And we'll start off with the euro dollar. It had all those announcements coming out last night. And we'll go in, open that up. We'll do that when we get back, right after this break. All right, folks, going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. Going on and looking at the news we had last night. We were looking at the euro dollar, and to be pretty flat in the evening between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. And what we were looking for was, on the euro final CPI, flash GDP, and final core PPI for a movement of around 35 pips or less. Let's see if that trade worked out that I called out for you last night. How did that one do? Again, that's buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread on the Nadex exchange in Chicago. Basically options for day traders when it comes right down to it. Taking that 11 p.m. going on over to 7 a.m. And we got a movement net of about 11 pips, meaning we took in a profit of around 23 pips on the trade. Trade did oscillate, gave you a chance to get filled on both sides, worked out well. All right, so that's the euro trade from the evening. Don't forget, we got G20 happening today and happening tomorrow. Of course, that's going to push things around as well. That'll push around oil. That'll push around the dollar index. You can keep your eye out for news coming out of that, and is looking for as they come out and they do little press conferences and talk and all that stuff. But anyway, so there's all sorts of little announcements that come out that can sort of rock things when G20's out. So just be aware of that, and that is in play right now and will also be in play tomorrow. Happening out there in Brisbane. And we got Walmart. It came out, let's see, yesterday morning. We already covered that one. Okay. Going on into today, we got CAD manufacturing sales. So let's hop on over to that one. Actually, before I hop over to CAD, let's stay on Eurodollar because I got another Eurodollar one here. Entering at 8 a.m. for a 10 a.m. expiration for a minimum profit of $30. So let's check that out, see how that worked out. Going on into 10 a.m. Now, this one was a little bit tougher. Things were starting to rock around a little bit on the dollar. And taking that out to 10, and then we were going 8 to 10. So here we go. Back up a little bit. I started at 10 for some reason. So 8 o'clock, but either way, we were still getting some volatility on that, but took us right to 10 o'clock. Got 27 pips. We were expecting 30 pips or less. So basically made a couple bucks on the trade, nothing massive. But, at least it worked out. Looking on over at CAD Manufacturing Sells, we pull up the dollar CAD over here, and we'll look at how that one played on out. We already talked about the natural gas inventory, and then since I'm going to be out, I want to get you caught up on the news going. And we're going to have a lot of news to cover, so get your pen and your paper ready, okay? Anyways, we're looking forward to 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We had a lot of movement in the dollar CAD, had a movement of 45 pips, only expected 25. So out of the three trades, one was pretty much break even. We had a nice big profit on another one. Natural gas gave a great spike striker. Dollar CAD moved about 20 pips outside of its range on a $25 or 20 pip loss on a potential 25 profit gain on that trade. All right, that catches us all up for where we're at now. Let's get going into next week. Like I said, I'm going to be stepping out. I'm going to be going to the money show next week in Vegas. It's a lot of fun. A lot of traders out there. Be catching up with people. But anyways, CAD foreign security purchases, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., $30 profit. That is for Monday. So we're going to go ahead and look at Monday right now. And CAD foreign security purchases coming out. Looking for an iron condor on that. Entering at 8 a.m. for 10 a.m. for a $30 minimum profit. We also have U.S. capacity utilization, so same time, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., but on the euro dollar, looking for a $30 minimum profit iron condor trade. Going into the evening, we're going to have various reports like PPI, CPI, RPI, HPI, and every PI out there coming out of the pound. Usually not. These are all small moves, and combined still small moves between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. I'm going to have to update that one. Okay, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And what we're looking for on that trade is about $30 profit. All right. So that'll get us on the pound dollar. Rolling on into the next morning there, we got Home Depot coming out on the 18th with its earnings report. Then going into the U.S. PPI and core PPI, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., that's a euro dollar trade at $25 iron condor. NHB Housing Market Index, that's another euro dollar iron condor at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. $25 profit on the trades, what we're looking for. We got a strangle coming on out next week on the 18th. Looking for a lot of movement in the pound dollar. We'll talk about that one when we get back from this break. All right, folks, we're going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And just checking a few things out. We're going through. We're getting you ready for the news. And right now we have the pound dollar news coming up. We're talking about the release here on November 18th. We're going to be entering 11 p.m. the night before for a 7 a.m. expiration there on the MPC and official bank rate vote news. Usually the market does move pretty good on this announcement. And so we're actually going to look to do a straddle. That's where we buy the upper spread and sell the lower spread, the opposite of an iron condor. When we do this trade, we're going to be looking for a maximum risk on the trade of $40. And once it's moved enough to make that $40 back in profit on either side, pardon me, we'll be looking to hop out of the straddle trade. So definitely setting your take profits is important. It's very important when you're doing a straddle trade, because so often the market will fly in your favor and then turn around and move on back. Let's see here. What else we got? Going into this coming week, we got U.S. building permits on the 19th. We'll be looking for 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. for a $30 profit on that one. Pretty simple. We got the franc trade balance. A lot of these you're going to notice are around $30. Franc trade balance entering from 11 p.m. to a 7 a.m. expiration on the dollar franc. And again, that's for the dollar franc trade coming up on the 19th. For the entry, we entered it on the 19th. Then we got pound retail sales, pretty light, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Again, use a little caution on retail sales going into a holiday season here. But 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. With a minimum profit of $35. CAD wholesale sales opens us up the next morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the dollar CAD on the 20th. And looking for a $30 profit on that one. And Philly Fed sort of wrapping up the day for us on the euro dollar, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Looking for a $25 quiet move there on the 20th. And going into the 21st, we got the CAD Core CPI, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. for a $30 profit on that specific trade. And let's see here. What else going into the following week, get you wrapped up and ready for Thanksgiving, okay? And just trying to get you really, outlined and all the trades here. So, because obviously I'm going to be out at the money show and then out for Thanksgiving, so I want to make sure I got you all set up and ready. Don't leave you hanging there. You can always go back and watch the replay of this to get all these down. We got the Pound Nationwide HPI report coming on out at 2 a.m. on the 24th. We're going to be looking to enter at 11 p.m. for a 7 a.m. expiration. So it's getting in on Sunday there for a 7 p.m. expiration, or 7 a.m. expiration, I mean. And $30 minimum profit on that iron condor. We got the pound BBA mortgage approval the next night. Basically, just repeat the trade. So we're getting in on the 24th for 25th expiration, getting in at 11 p.m. for a 7 a.m. expiration, also for $30. We got the U.S. preliminary GDP and GDP price index. Looking at that and not looking like we're going to have a massive movement on that one. Get a little bit cautious. Again, so GDP is going to be a pretty big factor probably coming in. We got the holidays coming up. We're going to have lighter volume starting to happen on these times. Okay, so anyways, just use caution on this trade. Okay, that may be one to just be very leery of. And I'm going to double check that one as well. But yeah. Okay, so you list preliminary GDP right now, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., just 2 hours, okay, for a $25 profit. Usually pops up and down, stays pretty flat overall for us. We got the dollar CAD coming on up on the 25th. We'll be looking at various news reports and things of that sort. Let's see. And so on that one, we're going to look at $30 for 8 a.m. entry for 10 a.m. expiration. And on that, and that's a $30 minimum take profit right there. Just trying to put all these different ones in there at once for you. We got various reports coming out on Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving, getting lighter volume. Euro dollar, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., and $30 minimum profit on that iron condor, followed up by new home sales, also Euro dollar trade 8. This one's going to be an entry at 9 for an 11 a.m. expiration, looking for a $30 minimum profit. Let me check our oil inventory and natural gas inventories and unemployment claims. They ought to be bumping all those with that coming up that week. Let me see if the calendar has been updated yet. Going on into it. Again, we're going through Thanksgiving week, just making sure you have everything you need for your news plan and you're not just left there without knowing what to do. Okay, so obviously we got the bank holiday that is going to, and I want to make sure oil inventory is on the same day. Okay, oil inventory will be on Wednesday as scheduled. Obviously no unemployment claims coming out and no natural gas inventory coming out that same day. But let's see, I don't know when they're going to release it actually. They don't have it. I don't have it on my list. Let me see if they're bumping it to even Monday or Tuesday. I don't even see it being released right now. So I don't have, you'll have to just check like Forex Factor to see if they update a release date on it, but they may just not report it that week because it's not anywhere on my calendar at the moment for the U.S. dollar for the unemployment rate to come out on Thursday. That usually comes out, obviously, with the holiday, and I don't see natural gas either. And I don't see them on like Friday, like a day later. So they may update that, but so far that has not been released. Going on into Friday, we got, so yeah, these I'm going to have to pull off the list. One second, let me just do that. And so I got that one out of the way, and then let me get this one out. Okay. All right. So with those done, what do we got on Friday? We got I got a dollar CAD trade. We're looking at an 8 a.m. to a 10 a.m. 7 a.m. to a 9 a.m. 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Expiration. So entering at 7 for a 9 a.m. expiration on the dollar CAD. Looking at a $30 minimum profit on the trade. And then gets right into the first Sunday in Advent calendar going on up. We got nothing on Sunday, but on Monday, here on the 1st, we're going to have the U.S. ISM Manufacturing PMI, and that will give us a iron condor trade on the euro dollar for 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. with a minimum profit of $25. We got the Aussie dollar building approvals That'll give us an evening trade, 6 p.m. with an expiration of 11 p.m. for a minimum profit of $35 here on December 1st. Going on into the Aussie dollar cash rate, basically looking at the exact same, trade. So it's a duplicating trade, just overlapping in those announcements. And then we got 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Pound construction PMI will be released at 4:30. We'll be looking for entering at 11 p.m. for a 7 a.m. expiration for a minimum profit of $30. Hopping into the Aussie GDP on the 2nd, we'll be looking to find an iron condor on the Aussie dollar entering as early as 6 for an 11 o'clock expiration. We're going to have some other big news coming on out. We're going to go in. We're going to have the ADP NFP reports coming on out on that Wednesday. And we'll follow up with some other NFP reports as well. But NFP reports on the 3rd at 8:15, 8 to 10, usually a very flat trade for a mere $30 profit. Got the ISM non-manufacturing PMI coming out at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a $25 profit. Going into the Frank retail sales that evening, we're going to be able to line up at 11 a.m. I think that's actually an 11 p.m. to a 7 a.m., so I'll update that one. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. on the dollar franc there, looking for a $30 minimum profit. The release comes out at 3:15. Let's see, going on down the list, we got Aussie dollar also giving us a nighttime trade. Looking at a 6 o'clock entry for an 8 o'clock expiration on the retail sales and trade balance report and the ANZ job advertisements. Very flat, very little movement. Don't expect a whole lot. So minimum profit of $25 on that iron condor. We'll get on over at the pound services PMI that evening for an 11 p.m. to a 7 a.m. We got a minimum profit of $30 trade the pound dollar again. An iron condor on that trade. Tons of these trades they all can take advantage of. We got another one, euro retail sales, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., same day. Going in and looking at a entry at 11 o'clock for 7 a.m. expiration for a minimum profit of $25 on the trade. We got a few more trades to list out here. There is a lot, right? So pound official bank rate asset purchase facility. This one is I love this trade. 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. Or sorry, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., $30 minimum profit. It's so flat right before they're waiting on that euro to come on out. Euro comes out right after 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's also a pretty flat trade unless they do change the interest rate, which is really rare. Minimum profit of $30. We got the CAD housing starts there on the 4th. On the CAD housing starts, we'll be looking at the dollar CAD, an 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. entry for a minimum profit of $20. And I guess I got that one twice, so it's doubly important, right? Looking on over at, we'll have, of course, unemployment claims, natural gas, weekly inventory all the same times, weekly inventory on Wednesday. Unemployment claims will be on the 4th. We'll have weekly natural gas on the 4th. We have another Frank trade, Frank CPI coming on out on that Thursday, December 4th, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., and looking for a minimum profit of $25 on that. Going on into the last couple trades left on the list. CAD various reports coming out: employment change, trade balance, unemployment rate, labor productivity. Looking for a very small move on this report for 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. for a $30 minimum profit. And a variety of U.S. reports coming out. And I'm going to change that one up. That one, I'm going to change that one right now. Let's see, NFP, got straddles, and we got iron condor combinations both. Okay. And same thing here. And let me go back, and I want to find that last NFP so I can go through those regular moves with you. All right, so date is off on this one a little bit, but just for the Friday report here in December for the NFP that'll be coming up, what we'll be looking at is the Aussie dollar, and we look for usually a 60-pip move, working for 50 pips minimum in profit on iron condor. On the euro dollar, we got a 100-pip minimum move, working for 60 pips and minimum profit for an iron condor. On the pound dollar, on the NFP, when that comes on out, we got a 100-pip minimum move with a 70-pip minimum profit. Going into the dollar CAD, we got a 75-pip minimum move with a 60 pip minimum profit, and a dollar franc 92 pip expected move with a 60 pip minimum profit. Usually it'll pop up and come on back down, or pop down 45 and then up 90, and we're still within the range. Dollar yen 80 pip minimum move is what we're looking at, and 60 pips of minimum profit to pull off an iron condor. If they are really cheap, you know what the expected moves are. You can pull off straddles as well. They could be exceptional straddles. So definitely check those out. You can go to the really advanced straddles. I talked to you about these just about a week ago. I went into the advanced straddles, the synthetic hedges, synthetic straddles on these. You go Euro CAD, Pound CAD. People go, well, Nadex doesn't have Euro CAD and Pound CAD. They do. You just got to make it synthetically. Why? Well, because they move huge, like 100, 150 pips. They're the biggest movers on these reports, especially when the CAD and the U.S. employment reports come out at the same time. Worked out great last time. We showed you how to do it. Worked out awesome. So we buy a euro dollar, and we buy a dollar CAD upper spread, and we sell a euro dollar and sell a dollar CAD lower spread. In essence, we're crossing out the dollars, and we're like buying a euro CAD upper spread and selling a euro CAD lower spread. Do the exact same thing in the pound dollar. We buy the pound dollar and buy the dollar CAD upper spread. We sell the pound dollar lower spread and sell the dollar CAD lower spread, in essence giving us a pound CAD straddle. Watch the euro CAD chart for managing your trade. Watch the pound CAD chart for managing your trade. As far as P&L, just look at all four of them. You can see where you're up, and if you're up enough to cover the risk you put up on the trade to take profit. 90% of the time, the move is huge on this. So you can look at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock expirations. If you can get more time and you can get it cheap, go for it. You know, more time is great. I mean, a lot of times these things just pop and they're done. And you get 90% of that movement right there within literally just the first 15 minutes. After that, a lot of times the market will go flat. You might even get an iron butterfly later in the afternoon between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. on the NFP reports. All right, so that was news overload, but I wanted to make sure that I did not leave you hanging without it. I wanted to make sure that you had everything that you needed to be able to walk in, to these, upcoming weeks here with the holidays and everything else, and not be without those trades, because I know a lot of y'all do follow them and take advantage of them. All right. So that has got us caught up on all the news, and let's check out where we're at on several other markets that we've been going into in detail, and also some of the other potential trade setups we can look at. One of the things is, people have been we've been talking about these 20-minute binaries a lot, and so I want to go into that, as well as some ways to play choppy moves on indices. So stay right there. We'll get back. We'll get to you right after this break. All right, folks, we're going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour, and just going through and doing some just quick reviews, looking at several trades, trade possibilities, what we have for the day that we can take advantage of. And one of the things I want to talk about to you is just these settlement is. It's the ultimate magnet. It's the ultimate deviation of the settlement price. It's yesterday's agreed upon price by everybody. That's why gap fills work so well. It's also a great price when you see things like this happening today. I mean, not only do you have iron condors that you can be doing, you can be doing very small, out-of-the-money directional trades, checking out the 20-minute contracts. You can look at expected ranges on these. You can look at volume. It's so low, I'd really just be going for butterflies, top of hour, every 20 minutes. And it's hitting these things like crazy. You go in and you can buy that lower spread. You can sell that upper spread. And as you can see, they've been overall very, very flat. There's been a couple, like 1 hour, like right there at the open, where we see it fly around. And beyond that, it's just been a whole lot of nothing, like a point or two up or down. I think like 2-3 points from high to low, basically, is the range we've been stuck in. And since 10 o'clock there, besides that, initial open. Use that to your advantage. Use these 20-minute binary contracts to your advantage. Go in there, hop in, and you can do small directional trades. Like as soon as you hit a high is broken, boom, buy, sell, But, I mean, just do in-the-money contracts on them. And you don't expect a lot of movement. So don't expect a lot of movement. Or if you're doing an out-of-the-money, do a really cheap, really close one. You can go down to lower times if you want to. You can look at like 2-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute contracts on there, and you can just see how it's all adding up. But definitely take advantage of whenever you see these flat markets. Don't sit back and go, nothing's happening. It's like, no, something is happening. Premium collection's happening, or trend collection on like a point move or less than that is happening right now. That's what you want to take advantage of. So if you haven't been diving into these 20-minute binaries yet, flat markets, perfect, okay? Like, have different clubs. When you go play golf, you got to have putters, you got to have, irons, you got to have sand wedges, you got to have, your drivers. Well, this is your putter. Just putt, 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 right? Like constantly, and you can clean up pretty nicely. I know people that are loving these 20-minute binary contracts and just scalping them and just going in and just grabbing $20, $20, $20, $20, or $40 on just letting the thing stay neutral and doing a simple, iron butterfly, buying a binary below the market, selling a binary above the market. So pretty easy to do. Doesn't take a lot of effort to learn. You just got to get in there and you got to decide that you're going to learn how to take advantage of it. Another thing is, if you're looking at, trades on different time frames, different kinds of charts, things like that, one of the things to look at is to go in and tighten your stops as targets are hit along the way. So you can either get out or you can tighten your stop, but don't just leave it all the way down there to give all that money back. But, you're not really target trading when you're neutral trading. So it's really simple. It's just stay in the range and I make money. That's all you want to happen, okay? And using expected ranges should help you out quite a bit with pulling that off. So just for a final wrap on where we're at right now, we still got the S&P flat. We got Russell flat. We got NASDAQ still slightly positive. Dow pushing down to negative territory. All of the metals are up huge. Silver's up over 4% now. Just moving. We got oil sort of sitting up just 0.5% at the moment. And our ags are both negative. We got the dollar index is slightly down, a mixed bag there on the dollar results. Dollar franc down, dollar yen up. We got pound dollar down, euro dollar up. So just a little bit mixed over there on the dollar overall with the currencies, but definitely no confusion on the dollar when it comes right down to the metals. All right, y'all have a great day, and I will see you soon. I hope to see some of y'all at the Money Show next week in Vegas.